Michigan Liberation is a statewide network of people and organizations organizing to end the criminalization of Black families and communities of color in Michigan. We envision a state without mass incarceration, mass policing, and punishment. We envision a state with the best public education in the nation, single-payer health care, and thriving Black and brown communities. Here on the Respect the Roots podcast, we will lift up the stories and experiences of those impacted by mass incarceration, collective ties to the criminal legal system, and the frontline efforts to end mass incarceration.
Hello, everybody. This is Miss Marjon, and welcome to another episode of Respect the Roots, Michigan Liberation's amazing podcast. In the studio today, I've got some amazing gentlemen here who are doing some amazing work. And we are talking about the prison ministry, all right, everyone, Macomb prison mentoring program and everything. And I want to introduce my guest today. We got none other than Reverend Samuel Spruill and Elder Orlando Gregory. What's going on, gentlemen?
What's going on? So glad to be here.
Glad to be here.
All right. It's glad to be seen and not viewed, right, y'all?
Amen.
That's right.
Well, I want to get right into the nitty-gritty of it all. Before we do that, I wanted, usually we would tell people to send us their bios, and then I would read it off like I was reading a book report. And it just seems so scripted. But I want both of you, because you have an amazing background. I want you to tell everybody who you are, your title, whatever title you want to give, and a little bit about yourself. Let's start with Reverend Spruill. You start off first, Reverend Spruill.
Yeah, my name is Reverend Samuel Spruill. I'm the CEO and president of H.O.P.E, Operation for People Empowerment. It's a nonprofit located in the city of Detroit. We located on 8642 Woodward Avenue. I've been doing prison ministry approximately 32 years. I started down at downtown at Wayne County Jail, and from Wayne County to Mound Prison before they closed, and now I'm presently at Macomb Correction Facility on 26 Mile Road.
Wow.
So I've been doing it for quite a while, 32 years of prison ministry. And you call and you always ask God, what do you call me to do? I had no idea that I would end up doing what we call prison ministry. I thought one day, because I'm a PK kid, I thought, I'd be pastoring the church, following behind my father's footsteps, when he passed. And I thought, I'm going to be pastoring his church. But God took it a whole different way. So you got to be careful when you say, God, send me where you need me. And I had no idea. 32 years later, I look back and say, wow, I've been doing this for 32 years. Enjoying it, though.
Wow, enjoying it. Yes. That's amazing.
Yes.
Reverend Spruill. I knew you've been involved for a while, but I know it was 32 years.
I definitely knew you were PK. It scared me out like, oh, yeah.
Did you know that?
Oh, yeah.
He said he knew.
I had to count it again myself.
You know what they
32.
said about those PKs, but they was the baddest ones in the church. Yeah. But anyway, you didn't hear that from me. But Elder Orlando, please tell us about yourself.
Ms. Marjon, first I'll just thank you for having me here, and I thank you for Michigan Liberations for inviting me. I wasn't a PK kid. I was a PK kid. I was a punk kid. Okay, I was, and I don't mean that in a bad way. What I'm saying, I grew up in the streets of Detroit, and I wasn't in the church, and I didn't get saved and get to the church till I was 33 years old.
Right.
Other than that, I spent on the streets of Detroit, born and raised in Detroit. I spent 25 years on the Detroit Fire Department, ascended up to the ranks of Deputy Fire Commissioner. An ex-felon became the commissioner of the Detroit Fire Department.
Wow.
And I spent 25 years on the Detroit Fire Department, got called into the ministry in 2003, and I've been shoulder to shoulder with my soldier buddy here, Reverend Spruill, here in the past 5 or 6 years or so that we've really been doing this. But as it relates to the ministry, got called into the ministry. Elder is my title by way of my ministry title, but I'm the executive director over the Wayne County Jail Outreach Ministries, and God has done so much in my life that he has called me to go back and get those that's left in the prison, because I once sat where they sat.
Really?
So at the same time, God has raised me up and doing this work in the ministry since 2005. I've been probably spoke at 5 or 6 different prisons in the local area. Currently doing a lot of work in jail ministry, and me and Reverend Spruill is really pounding the pavement at Macomb Prison. So
Wow.
I've been doing that, and currently the executive director over the Wayne County Jail Outreach Ministries. In tandem with, I'm a trainer for American Red Cross. I travel the country teaching for Red Cross, CPR, AED, first aid, basic life support, all that good stuff. I'm just working, saving lives spiritually and naturally.
Wow. That's what I'm saying. I couldn't have done that any better. Y'all did that up. Man, I see why he's going to be the guest speaker at your fundraiser. Yes.
I'm going to get happy in there.
We all going to be take off running,
I'm
running
telling
around
you.
there.
Yeah, I'm telling
But
you.
thank you, gentlemen, for coming
Thank
here
you for having
today.
us. Yeah,
And we want to get right into the history of this prison mentorship program known as the Shadow Step program.
Step, yes.
This is just for all of you who are tuning in and listening. I'm talking to Reverend Spruill and Elder Orlando or Spruill,
Yeah.
But the thing is, today we want to talk about this mentoring program because I think a lot of people, they've heard of prison ministry, but we say it so lightly. Even when we go to church, we know our church has a prison ministry or used to have one.
Right.
But like you said, it's hard work.
Right.
And so I want you to tell me, how did you? I know how you kind of got involved through your, talking about yourselves, but the history of this particular mentorship, because I'm sure you had to get it approved.
Oh, yes.
It just like you didn't just go up to that ward and say, "Hey, we're gonna bring this in."
No, we did
and
not.
It got approved the same day.
It's amazing how it got approved.
Wow.
We one of the inmates there was talking about God placed in my heart, and I shared with Elder about we need to do something with the guys to help transform them, some type of transformation while they're here. How can we get these guys, mentally, spiritually ready to come home, and while they're here to have impact among other inmates? And so that's how the mentoring piece came about. We like, man, if we mentor these gentlemen, if they mentor 10 other people, it would help them correct some of their spiritual, some of their ways while they're incarcerated, keeps them from getting more tickets and acting up, but at the same time, have an impact while they're incarcerated, because we train them as mentors, and then they can train others as well. So we end up calling the program Shadow Step.
Shadow Step. And you started back November 2023.
And this is the first of, to my knowledge, this is the first of this kind, especially at Macomb Correctional Facility, but in the state of Michigan that I'm aware of.
Okay.
What sets our program separate, apart from others, that it's faith-based. It's not just a mentoring program. It's
faith-based.
Yes.
Okay, let's get that clear.
Let me be clear on that. Because we got just another program. No, it's not just another program. It's faith-based,
Faith-based.
Yes. And we launched it with 15 inmates. Presently in the program, we'll be, I think April the 4th, we'll be graduating our first class. We're going to have a graduation ceremony for them. But Sister Marjon, how it came about as well for us getting approved, at the top level there was a lot of changes going on in administration. Every time we submitted the paperwork, we was praying about, okay, is that going to get approved? Because, administration doing some changes at the facility there. And we get a call from that child. Matter of fact, this is what happened. I went to Lansing speaking. Matter of fact, at one of the events in Lansing, and on the way back home, I get a text from the chaplain at Macomb saying, your program been approved. I just finished talking about mentoring in prison as well as mentoring outside. And driving home from Lansing, this is how I know it was of God, I get the text back and say, your program been approved. I'm like, nothing but God.
Wow.
Because we was praying about it, but because of all the different change in administration at that particular time, I was like, this gonna go fall through the cracks. They're not going to pay no attention to it, because we busy other things now.
Okay.
When they're approved, I'm like, it's of God, and
you got it approved. This is back in November 2023. Now, the both of you were already working together, right?
We are working together, yeah. It's amazing. I've been there 5 or 6 years, but prior, when I first got there, him and I was passing. But I felt something. I said, something about this guy is different, because the kind of work we do, it's hard to find individuals who have the heart for the ministry. You can go through the motion of the ministry, but really have the heart and the heartbeat of the ministry, to hear the guys and feel their pain and be able to minister to them, to help uplift them while incarcerated, and give them hope, So we deal with a lot of guys that are doing life. What do you tell a lifer? God is good. Okay, so I need to hear more of that, And so give them hope, that if you just trust God, stay focused, you never know how this thing gonna turn out,
Right.
And so it's about giving guys encouraging, in their faith, in their walk, and they show them that if you stay faithful, and stay with God, things will happen.
Things will happen. Okay.
Things will happen.
So let's get into this program, because I know a lot of people. If you're just tuning in, I'm speaking with Reverend Spruill and Elder Orlando. They're part of the prison ministry, but Macomb Prison Mentoring Program, which is a faith-based in-house mentoring program. All right. And I know some of you probably wondering who's going to be watching. You're going to be trying to figure out how can you get involved, and we're going to tell you about that a little bit later. But I want, before we tell you how to contact, these two gentlemen, the program itself, because I think that's the disconnect. When you say, Elder Orlando, first of all, what does an in-house faith-based prison mentorship look like? Walk us through it.
I'm doing the best I can to hold myself together right now, because what I mean by it is just when me and Rev really get to chopping it into this, the spirit start rising up, and it's so powerful. When Rev submitted the program to do the mentorship shadow program, we wanted to take it from behind the pulpit, just preaching to them, to get them in a classroom setting and develop men. We always break it down like this: men tore ship, men tore torque, which means power, all on the ship going in the same direction.
Right.
So we look at mentorship to build men versus just preaching to them, but teaching them, because they look at us as role models. So then we get in the room, and now we dig deep into the holistic approach, where we're not just preaching to the spirit man, we at the same time teaching them how to be men. And we have seen so many powerful things happen in the class, where now we able to marry the shadow step program from jail in the prison with the mentorship program on the outside. So we teach them to be mentors there.
Right.
And when you get out, connect with the mentorship program that we have outside of the prison to connect to develop the men in the holistic approach. That's why it's a faith-based thing, because it doesn't make any sense to just have a regular program that's not dealing with the inner man. So we take the scriptures and show you mentorship at its finest through scripture, with some natural quizzes and tests and information, and it's powerful. And Rev brought the point up that there was a group before us that tried to get a mentorship program into the prison, which is a huge organization. And COVID hit, so they dropped the ball. Then Rev picked it up and went in, and our program is the only one in the state or so that even been developed like this. It was a huge organization, not to mention their name, that was going to get into, they was trying to do a mentorship program at Macomb. COVID hit, so they dropped it. And then what happened, Rev picked it up, and we got it approved, and we're looking to make it the model for the world to see, starting with the men that we're dealing with now, and we already got tons of them lining up.
And see, that's my next question. You started with 10. How did that? Is this something where it's voluntary? Of course it's not. They're not forced.
Right.
But how do you get the word out about it? How does that all work?
It's amazing.
Powerful.
With this
powerful.
15, it's a brand new program. Other inmates heard about the program, and they come to us every Sunday. How can we become mentors? They come to us because they feel our heartbeat. One thing about an inmate, they can tell if you're real or not. They know that what Elder Orlando bring to the table, where we preach, is from the heart. We share our life stories. We have pain. We come in with limps, okay?
Right.
And we share it with them. And so they trust us with the word. They're going to give them the word. But also, they want to be a part of the new movement, of what we can do to make some changes. They want to be changed. They want to be transformed. And we always tell them, you can't transform yourself. It's your mind have to be transformed. Them guys caught that, catching on. Okay, I want to change, but how do I change?
Right.
And it all starts with that mindset. How do you change that mind? That means changing your ways. So the mentoring program is giving you tools. How to become accountability, responsibility.
Very good, right?
Okay? How do you become that person? Because we teach them that now, when they get out, they'll know about being responsible.
Right.
being accountable,
Right.
about building relationship, how important that family piece is.
Right. I
That's
got
what we
you.
gained in here. So trying to put them things in place so when the guy come
together.
home, he already have the experience of being a mentor in there. And when he come home, he help other guys stay out when they come out.
Right.
See, the key is not just a gentleman to get out, but how do you keep him out?
Yeah. Beat that
Getting out.
recidivism. You're right.
One thing, you
I
want to
know what
stay
you're
out.
saying.
You know what I'm saying? And so it needs someone, the mentoring piece that would help them make that transition from incarceration back into community.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
That's the key thing there. And once they home, we have to walk with them.
Right. And I want to talk about that in a little bit. If you're just joining us, I'm talking to Reverend Spruill and Elder Orlando. They're part of the prison ministry, but the Macomb prison facility there in Macomb County. I was about to say Wayne County, but no, Macomb County. I want to be clear. It's part of the Macomb Prison Mentoring Program, Shadow Step. Now, we're halfway through and everything, and I want to also talk about Elder Orlando. You talked about when we was in the green room, the jail versus prison ministry. I think that we need to. Some people are confused, and we perish from lack of knowledge.
That's correct.
Amen.
So we're here to
Amen.
educate people
Right.
today. This is only the beginning,
Right.
and I know because I'm gonna ask those questions because I'm gonna act like I have no clue what's going on. So because some of you I know after this episode is gonna want to get involved. But can you please speak on the difference between a jail versus prison ministry? And then also before you get started, I want to talk about once these gentlemen are released. What kind of programs do you offer there after? So that's a two-part. So let's start with jail versus prison
As
ministry.
it relates to the jails, a lot of times when they're in jail, they're somewhere closer to the courthouse, and they just in jail close to the court, so they can go back and forth to jail. They haven't really been given a sentence. So they're in there going back and forth to court, closer to the area where the maximum sentence at a jail is maybe 1.5 or 1 year and 6 months, going back and forth to court. But once they get a sentence of 5 to 10 to 15 years, now you're leaving from the jail to go to the prison.
Okay, say that again, Elder.
All
Because
right.
some of us need to hear that again. Because
Okay.
it went in one, it kind of went over our head. Say that again. Break that
Like
down.
at the Wayne County Jail, the folk who are in jail in there for drunk driving, probation violation, back and forth to court, on and on and on. You got to stay somewhere close so they take you back and forth to court. And then if you get the longest sentence you can get in the jail is 1 year or 1 year and 6 months.
That's the max.
The maximum. Nobody
Okay.
down there for 10 years, 15 years, 16 years.
And I want y'all to hear it because
Okay.
some people, and I'm very serious, some people come to us and they're like, what's the longest time you can be in jail?
In Wayne County, the maximum is about 1 year and 6 months at the most.
Okay.
In jail.
In jail.
But if you go to the judge and he give you 5-year sentence, 10-year sentence, 15 years, or life, now you're going to get out of the jail and go to the Michigan Department of Corrections. Those are the prisons.
Those are the prisons.
Right.
Okay. Thank you for that
Okay.
clarification.
right.
So how is the difference between the ministry, though, the ministries that go on from jail versus prison?
It's amazing, Real, because it's amazing when me and Reverend Spruill go in on a Sunday to do ministry at the prison. We got 150 to 200 guys in the gym
Okay.
that's ready for ministry.
Which is this jail or
the
prison?
prison?
Prison. Okay,
When
prison.
we go to the jail, we just ministering through the bars. So he can be right there in the bars or a couple of them, and they just looking at you through the bars at the jail. Versus going to the prison, they send us in a gym, and we walk in and set up like a church.
Like a church.
And we have
It
church
is a
in there. They
church,
have
yeah.
praise teams. They have worship leaders, guitar, bass,
Oh,
all
it's
prisoners.
like regular church, yeah. And we
Regular.
behind
Open
them.
population.
Right, yeah. This
kinda
is no longer church.
situation.
Yeah, this gym's the church today.
Yeah,
Right,
the
right.
gym has been turned into a
To a
church.
church.
And we come in and minister, and we do what we can. So as it relates to the jails, it's not really set up in the fashion of they all come out the jail or their cells and get into one location. So now currently if we go to the Wayne County Jail, we're just like a one-on-one ministry or two guys looking out their bars just looking at you versus being set like Macomb prison.
Right.
We have a whole order of service.
But why is that?
Sometimes relative to the jails, it's not set up that way. But in Wayne County, they're developing a new jail currently. It's already built. And the only thing stopping them from moving all of the people from the old location to the new location is politically things going on in the city. But it's been built, it's huge, it's massive, and it's supposed to be more amenable to ministry where 15 or 20 of them can come out of their cell into a room, and then you can have 15 of them quorum together.
True fellowship type of community
but currently
engagement.
It's through bars.
It's bars, and that's a different type of ministry.
Different type of
ministry. And I'm glad you specified
Plus,
that.
you know, when guys in jail, he's not sure how much time he's going to get. It's a whole different avenue. Okay, I don't know. We get 5 years, getting 4 years, I don't know.
Right.
A guy in prison, he said, what I'm thinking about, he said, I know I got to do 5, or I know I got to do 10. Exactly. Oh, I'm here for life, and he already knows it. Well, that's over with. I just, I'm serving time now.
He has been sentenced, and he know how long he's going to be.
Right.
And that mentality is totally
different. Yeah.
Right. Jail is totally different than the prison.
Mm-hmm. Well, in the ministry, a little bit different because you go, again, a guy, he not sure some of the uncertainties at that point because he don't know if he's going to really get the time on it, how much time he's going to get. So the ministry to him a little bit different. Like, okay, so he just don't, let's walk this thing through.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, also, I wanted to know, they go through the Shadow Step program, mentoring program, and that's in house. But what's happening out house, like out of once they get out?
We encourage them. All inmates, when they come out, get out, that transition I mentioned earlier from incarceration back in the community, come to H.O.P.E, come to see us at Center for the Works of Mercy. This is where the word collaboration comes in at. We collaborated with Center for the Works of Mercy on Woodward Avenue, 8642. We can do an intake on them when we come home. Okay?
Yes, I've been there.
What are your needs?
Yes, really nice setup.
Most guy is clothes, food, those are basic things there, and some of you already have where they're going to stay. You got loved ones, family members, what have you. So those are the basic needs. Now, okay, what are your other needs out? For instance, you're gonna need your Social Security card, you're gonna need your driver license.
Yes.
We confer to a case manager for that. You need housing. The case manager will, try to help them with that as well. Or they need dental care. That's right at the center as well. So everything is in one location. That's good. That's what we call collaborating
amazing.
Together.
Right.
And so that's the beginning of it there. Okay. Once we start about the short-term goal, long-term goal. Okay. Oh, you have to do the work. We're here for you. We're gonna walk with you. Okay. And then we look at it maybe 6 or 8 months of mentoring the individual and helping making that transition because it's going to take time. All depends on how long the individual gone,
Right.
And we always talk about what got you incarcerated. Because remember I said earlier, it was some type of substance when they committed the crime they committed.
Right.
And so we don't hear nothing about, okay, I got to go back to my old neighborhood. I got to go over down on Cass. I got to go over there, those things that would cause them to, to stumble, So we encourage them not to do that, And we open, give us a call. Hey, you get the urge to do something like that, give us a call. That's what we're here for, And explain to them, hey, when you left here, we have telephone booth. We have cell phone now. And don't get so overwhelmed. And that's where it's so important on the intake. Listen, let's take one step at a time.
Right.
You can't make up 10 years, in one day. Them 10 years are gone. It's reality time now, Start where you at, work slowly, people be pulling on you. Don't be trying to, make up lost time. Well, I've been gone X amount of time. I got to get a car, I got to do all these things. And no, slow it down.
Wow.
Let's walk this thing slowly. Slow it down.
Right.
One step at a time.
Well, here's the thing. We got about 4.
And that's about building that bond. Now we building bond and trust because, we hold you accountable.
Right, and I got you.
It's about accountability. Now, same thing we teaching inside on the mentoring about part of the mentoring program, accountability. Now you're home, and we still hold you accountable. That's what we learned it, and that they'll learn on inside is part of the mentoring program. Now you're home. Let's play this. Let's go back to this accountability piece, responsibility, accountability.
Okay. I got you.
All you need to parole officer. All you doing? You supposed to do. Okay. 2 words, and I say this jokingly to my friend Elder over there, Elder Orlando, all the time. I say, there's 2 words I use. Our job is to correct and direct. Okay. Correct the actions. We're going to direct you to the services, how to do it, but you're going to do the work.
Wow, that's
As
powerful.
we say as you say in the street, what's your skin in the game?
With your
They got to
skin
make
in
some
the
skin
game.
to
I
the
like that.
game. I mean, they just talking
Right. Well,
their lingo.
well, you know what? Time has been flying. We got 3 minutes, but I
What?
want to. Yeah, we got 3 minutes, but we're gonna. Everybody, we already know we're gonna do a part 2, and we're gonna go more into the ministry outside of the prison. We
Okay.
definitely want to talk a little bit more in depth because I got some more little questions, some probing
Okay.
questions, but. I want everybody to know, first of all, how they can contact you, how they can reach out to you, because this is real serious. Because I think you're going to have people, like you said, without telephone booths, we got the smartphones, but some of us got some dumb phones, too. Let's communicate.
I'm giving an address.
Wait, I'm going to put that in there. Some of y'all got some I hate to say it, you got some strange phones, not dumb. We try to be positive here. You got some strange phones, you know what I mean? And so some of y'all, they going to need time to kind of get, as my grandma said, get that pencil.
Yeah, I'm
Get
giving
that pencil
that.
and pad out.
I'm saying it real slow.
And they want to say it real slow. You're going to
Okay.
repeat it more than once.
We are located 8642
That's correct.
Woodward Avenue. In the building, his name on the building is Center for the Works of Mercy. 8642 Woodward Avenue. The phone number you can contact us is 313-897-5503. I'll say the number again, say it real slow.
Yes, please.
313-897-5503.
Okay, and they can reach both of
You
you.
reach both. You know why? Because we look in the same building. He can reach over the cube and grab my bald head. That's how close
We're
we
going
are.
to go
So-
in and on the ball head. Yeah, okay. Yeah, right. I know that's right. Well, with a minute left, everybody, first of all, thank you so much. I have been over to Hope, and I know this is our first episode, but in our next episode, we'll go more into depth about what goes on at Hope and even a
Okay.
little bit more in your prison ministry over at Macomb Prison and everything. So I thank you so much, Reverend Spruill.
Thank you. Thank you.
Elder Orlando. We're
Yeah.
family. Ain't nothing
Yeah.
you can do about it.
Right.
You know about, we respect the roots.
That's right.
The
Respect the
grassroots
roots.
movement.
Respect
Yes.
the
Respect the roots.
Respect the roots. All
Respect
right,
the
y'all.
roots, yes.
All right. So now, until next time, everybody, I want to thank you. If you didn't get that information as slow as Reverend Spruill gave it, I want you to know that you can go on your screen and contact us at myliberation.org, and we will make sure to put you in contact with these two gentlemen. All right. All right. So until next time, respect the roots, gentlemen. What is it again?
Respect the roots.
All right, we out of here. Stay tuned for part 2. We're going to be talking about more in depth about this prison ministry thing they got going on, which is absolutely amazing, y'all. All right, till next time. Michigan Liberation Education Fund, C3, conducts grassroots organizing, leadership development, and civic engagement activities. Michigan Liberation C4 and Michigan Liberation Action Fund, IE, are sister organizations.